Alright, so we're at Advantage Lending to pop up at Catherine Fleetwood's office to see what she has to say about the loan process. Alright. Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Is Kat available?
She should be. Do you have an appointment?
Nope. Just dropping by.
Okay, well, her office is right around the corner if you want to go find her.
Alright, thanks. Hey! What are you doing?
Guess what we're doing today?
I have no idea. It's you.
Well, we are doing a pop-up home buyer workshop. You ready? Oh, you are eating?
I was kind of taking a break.
Oh, not working hard, I see. Well, so I have some
It is
questions.
Casual Friday.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool. Well, I have some questions for you. My first-time buyers, they really have a lot of questions.
Okay.
Are you good?
Yeah, I can answer those.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
All right, so you ready?
Yeah.
All right, so this is pretty different. I know you're not used to people popping up at your office.
I know,
but,
and I don't like being on film.
You don't like cameras?
No.
Well, it's only probably about 5,000 people going to see it. That's it. So
Great. Okay. I get to see the edit, right? Before.
No, not at all.
I hate you.
You love me. All right, so the first question that my first-time home buyers have is, how do I know how much I can afford?
Well, that's easy answer.
Okay.
When you get someone who's ready to look for a house, it's good to ask them if they've talked to a lender and if they've become pre-qualified. And that basically means they come to me, I run their credit, look at their income information, and based on their debt to income ratio, it kind of tells you what price range they can look.
Okay.
I also look at their other expenses, where a lot of lenders don't necessarily take those into consideration, because you have to eat, you have to drive to work.
That's true.
You know, you have to pay for daycare, whatever. And also I like to ask them about what kind of payment they're comfortable with.
Okay.
Because that's a really good gauge
Right.
as to how big the house can be and how much money they have to put down as well. I mean, there are lots of little factors.
Absolutely.
And so when I get them all cleared with that information, I send them back to you.
Cool.
And then you find them a house and you send them back to me.
Sounds good. So you take into consideration more than just, I guess, revolving debts. Okay.
Yeah. This in the mortgage world, that's all that really counts. But I don't want anybody ever being house poor.
Right.
I don't want anybody ever foreclosing on a house and saying, "Cat did this to me."
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to be
agree.
everybody's go-to.
Good. Okay. Second question, what is an escrow account and what are closing costs?
Okay. So closing costs are the things that you have to pay for, like the attorney, the appraisal, government recording charges, and all that kind of stuff. So that's all stuff that basically I don't really have control over the fees. We do have an underwriting fee that goes with that I can control because it's the same for everything. And escrows is basically like your savings account that holds your homeowner's insurance and your taxes and your mortgage insurance if you have that, so that it's included in your monthly payment. So you never have to come up with $2,000 at the end of the year to pay for your taxes, or $600 at the end of the year to pay for your homeowners. And you know that can be really awful for people because they forget about it. And
Absolutely.
so that's what the escrow account's for. So anyway, these things are what you have to pay on top of your down payment.
Okay.
But there are ways for me to cover those costs.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
And also, between me and the seller, if the seller's giving money towards closing costs, more often than not, people just have to bring their down payment.
That's good. Awesome. Okay. Good to know. All right. And the next question, what is the difference between conventional loans and government loans?
Well, conventional loans are what we call vanilla loans because they're so bland and boring, and they just kind of skate right through. People who have 20% down, 800 credit score, which isn't the majority of people, I assure you. So those are the conventional loans, you know, and there's all sorts of conventional loans. You can put 3% down, 5% down, and those, if you put less than 20% down, you have to pay private mortgage insurance. And that is basically security for the bank in case you foreclose.
Yeah, I hate PMI.
And it's really, really high with conventional loans.
Okay.
Especially if you're only putting like 5% down. Now, government loans are made so that they're more affordable for people who have lower income, who may not have the best credit. They offer really low interest rates, low down payments, low to zero down payments, as well as they do have private mortgage insurance for the life of the loan, but it's at a much lower rate than conventional. A lot of people, I do this quite often, get them into like an FHA loan, get them into the house, and then a couple years down the line, refinance them into a conventional loan once they've picked up their credit and once they're a little more solid on their feet.
That's smart.
And they get a no cash refi, or they don't have to bring anything to close, and they lose the PMI, so they end up losing a couple $100s on their monthly payment.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, there's just all kinds of ways you can do it.
Always great to save money. Okay. Well, you talked about this a little bit about pre-qualification, but what's the difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval?
Okay. I get people all the time that are like, I got pre-approved. No, you didn't. No, sweetie. The pre-qualification is me running your credit, looking at your income information and giving you a budget, basically. The pre-approval is what happens after we've submitted everything to the lender. The underwriter has underwritten it.
Underwriter, don't say that word.
Hey, wait a minute. We have a great one here.
Oh, okay.
He is fabulous.
All right.
So when the underwriter comes back and says, you're pre-approved, if you meet these conditions, that's a pre-approval.
Okay.
It has to be looked at by the bank. I mean, you're not approved when I just give you the letter. Sorry.
Absolutely. So can you get pre-approved and not worry about pre-qualification? Can you go straight to pre-approved?
You actually can. You can, I've done this for a lot of people, especially people who have kind of like difficult situations with like, I don't know, it could be divorce or switching jobs or something, whatever.
Okay.
And I'll take the whole application, do it almost like I have an actual loan.
Okay.
But not an address.
Right.
Send it to the underwriter, and he'll look everything over and he'll say, oh yeah, this will fly.
That's good.
And it really helps because
Definitely.
then they can just go look at the house and lickety split, and the underwriter's already familiar with the file.
Yes.
And so it goes really fast. I really love those.
That helps because you don't want to be in a situation where you're under contract on a house and then it turns out that they're not even approved at all.
No, and that's another thing. A lot of people don't think about this, but sellers need to be pre-approved. Like when you're listing a home for somebody, you need to talk to them about pre-approval, because what if they, sell their house and they're looking at another one, and then their house is sold, their loan didn't go through because they had, excess debt or something, and then they have to pack everything in their pack rat and go live in the extended stay for the next month.
I've had it happen, so
It's awful.
Yeah, it's terrible. Okay, well that answers that. Let's see. You talked about PMI. What exactly is it, and why do first-time buyers or buyers in general have to pay PMI?
Like I said before, private mortgage insurance insures the bank, how do I say this, against you foreclosing or you doing something wrong.
Okay.
It's not protection for you.
Okay.
It's protection for the bank.
Got it.
Because you're paying homeowners insurance. That's your protection.
Okay.
Their protection is this lovely PMI.
Okay.
And there are ways to have the lender pay the PMI.
Oh, really?
I mean, there's just a million different ways you can tailor a loan.
Good. So in order to get rid of PMI, does it automatically drop off, or do you have to call?
Sometimes it does.
Okay.
A lot of times you have to call.
Okay.
I mean, you can call when you're at 80% loan to value.
80%.
When you have 20% in, it'll automatically fall off at 79. But that's
All
a
right.
whole. I mean, that's that could be $1,000 or something. So it's good to just call your mortgage company and say, hey, it's time for it to go.
Okay, good. Well, I think those are all the questions on my list, but just, I guess, tell the audience of 5,000 people again.
Oh, I forgot the camera was there.
Yeah, camera's rolling. But just kind of tell everybody, why you do what you do, why you're passionate about your job.
Man, I'm gonna turn all red. I guess I do my job because I myself had struggled in the home ownership process, and the loan officer that helped me explained everything to me. He made it all understandable. It wasn't scary. He was very responsive, and it was just such a good experience that when this sort of fell into my lap, literally this job fell into my lap.
Wow.
Like, I never would have considered it. I saw this awesome opportunity to help people like me. And so, and plus, you know, I just like people.
Yeah, I can
So
tell.
I'm pretty much like friends with all the people I
Cool.
do mortgages for.
Yeah.
So they're gonna watch this and laugh at me.
Well, I love Kat, so she's great, has a great personality, and I could definitely sense the passion in what she's doing. So if they need to reach you, how do they get in contact with you?
Well, I have a Facebook page, which you can put all my
I'll link it.
credentials.
Okay.
But I'm here at Advantage Lending on Morning Dove, and you can look up advantagelending.com. You can find me on there. My phone number. You want my phone number?
Yeah, sure.
Put my phone number on the interwebs.
Uh-oh.
It's 919-622-1212. And I pretty much always answer. You can also email me at cat@advantagelending.com.
All right, thanks so much, Kat.
CATT. 2 T's.
C-A-T-T.
2 T's.
2 T's.
Don't forget that.
All right, we're out of here. Going to the next stop.
Thanks, my pizza's cold.
Oh, sorry. You can get back to your cat videos, though.